So last week I was away shooting my new series, Airbnb, where I stay in the most unique Airbnbs in Ireland. Not sponsored. I did reach out to them and they were like, no thank you. So we're in the fairy hut. It's day 2 staying here at Mayo Glamping. So basically we've had this mini trip, I suppose you could call it, planned for a long time. And then just before we were due to come, like, Dublin went back into lockdown. What I mean by that is Dublin went back a phase. They didn't go to full lockdown, they went to phase 3. And as part of phase 3, a lot of restrictions got tighter. There was an advisory not to leave your county. However, essential travel is work. And also they were saying on the radio that it was an advisory this time, not like a hard and fast rule. Whereas previously there was guards on the road actually stopping you from leaving. I decided to go ahead with the trip as planned because it was like some of the stays that I had organised were for free. I didn't think I was going to be able to reschedule them and like potentially reschedule them indefinitely. On Wednesday we were meant to stay in a boat in Galway. We've organised it. The last message we had, I was like, great, look forward to seeing you. So I didn't check my Airbnb messages till the day of. She had sent me a message being like, are you still coming tomorrow? Which I hadn't seen. And then 2 hours later she was like, I'm going to cancel it. I was like, oh, fuck. And that can happen when you've like free stuff organised, and that's actually why I think for this series I won't organise free stuff anymore. Oh, he's back already. God, he pisses so quickly. You pee so quickly.
Oh man.
Like I can barely tell a story in the time it takes you to go to the toilet and back. It's our last day here at Mayo Glamping. It's the morning, we're heading home later. I'm up ridiculously early. I got up at 7:30 because like a crow woke me up. It was like caw caw. But I thought that I'd get up and have a cup of tea and have a quick chat with you. Finish my story from yesterday. I was actually worried out there I was going to wake up the huts nearby. So I wasn't going to like drive back to Dublin and then back to Mayo again the next day. We were like, let's go to my home house in Mayo for the night, my family home. Okay, so Alex and I have rallied. I got tea and sugar and milk. I've also cut
digestive biscuits.
I didn't get any biscuits. No, you didn't say biscuits.
What is wrong with you?
So yeah, our Galway stay was a non-starter.
Bust.
Unfortunately. I was very excited about staying on the boat. But sure, listen, Sherlock, what can you do? I think I'm learning with this series that I shouldn't bother asking anyone for like a free stay or a discounted stay, because it just sort of blurs the lines then. I should just book the Airbnb, pay for the stay, and film the video. We went there. I guess I wasn't thinking. My next door neighbour basically leapt out the window at us and she was like, Claire! And I thought she was saying hello. So I was like, hi. And she was like, are you after coming from Dublin? And then I was like, yeah. She was like, you're not meant to leave your county. Irish people are not really good at confrontation. Normally what happens is you'll like silently fume about somebody doing something and like bitch about them behind their back. It's not very often you'll directly confront someone, so it's a bit thrown off. She said something like, are you not scared? But like, why would we be scared? Like the implication is that we're bringing it to you. So on the spot, didn't really know what to say. I stupidly said, we've had it. I don't know why I said that. Like what I meant by that was like that we've had it. So, you know, some of the scientific thinking at the minute is that we can catch it again, but we can't be infectious the second time. So we're less of a danger to other people if that scientific thinking holds up long term. What I said was, we've had it. So I've never seen anyone close the window so fast in all my life. And then we went into the house and we just felt so uncomfortable, and I have never in all my life felt so unwelcome in my own home. Alex brought the car up the back and we just left. We packed all our stuff back into it and left. That was a nice quick stay up home. I'd say we were here for 40 minutes. It actually really worked out, to be honest, because we stayed in a hotel next to over. We're gonna try the Strawboys Irish poutine. It's not that bad.
Definitely can't hear you on the video.
It's not that bad.
You're not that bad. The smell of it is actually making me feel sick.
Oh, is actually very smooth.
But your comments down below, will Claire finish that drink?
We met this guy in the bar, from Dublin as well, but whatever. He was so entertaining. He was a conspiracy theorist, so we were talking about conspiracy theories all night across the bar. He was like sitting up there, and to be fair, though, when he got a few bottles of wine into him, he was moving closer and closer. It's funny when you talk to people, the longer you talk to them, you ask the right questions, the more drink they have, where they stand on different issues really begins to come out. And that guy was so racist. It was like, I couldn't get over it. Now, there was one part that I really enjoyed where he had kind of been hinting at his racism like all night, and I'd been picking this up bit by bit. It wasn't hard. It was like being hit with a brick bit by bit. At one point, he was like, I like Boris. I'll just be honest with you, because he's racist. And I was like, that makes sense. He was like, so I just don't like all this immigration. And I was like, where are you from? And he was like, somewhere in Britain. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, right. And how long have you lived in Ireland? And he's like, whatever, 20 years. And I was like, right. But you don't like immigration. He's like, I don't like the immigration over there. And I was like, but you live here. And he was like, yeah. I was like, so it doesn't actually affect you. And he was like, I just don't like what the town has turned into or whatever. And I was like, but how do you know? Because you don't live there. To be fair to him, I did get him to a point where he was totally stumped. And he just went, yeah, fair enough, I actually have no comeback for that. We were talking to a man all night.
I'm eating this giant cola bottle.
Is there another one for me?
No. Thank you.
That's fucking rude, is what that is. We're talking to this man all night. I can't even remember what was said, but he said something, and then I said, don't worry, we'll go to bed and we won't be thinking about you. And then he goes, that's insulting. And I went, okay, we'll go to bed and everything we're thinking about is you. And he went, that's worse.
Geez, you're a fantastic storyteller.
I'm a bananas.
No shit.
I can't show you, Thomas.
Yeah, because the fans, hearts breaking.
No, but I can't, because fucking we get to monetize on YouTube. That's how we can't.
On hearts breaking all around the world.
That's not why. That's not why.
It's the hearts breaking.
There's a new TV show in Ireland called Eating with the Enemy. I want to apply for it, but I got the idea after that to like say put immigration on my list of things I'm passionate about. And conspiracy theories, because I just love talking to people about their conspiracy theories. Yeah, it's just about to turn 8 o'clock. I got up about 20 minutes ago because a crow went woke me up. And then I went to the toilet and someone knocked on the toilet and I was like, why is anyone else up at this hour? And I came in here to make a cup of tea and there was someone else came in after me. And I was like, why are you up and what are you doing? And can I have 2 minutes to talk to the camera, please? It's been a brilliant 3 days, but I have been really anxious the whole time since the confrontation. To be fair, I was fuming at first, and then when I calmed down I realised it's actually not her fault. The guidelines are so unclear. Sorry, I have a huge spot there. I probably would have cancelled if it was just the paid accommodation, to be honest, but it was the fact that we'd organised a gifted one that I was like, I can't reschedule this. This was the only date they had available. And then they cancelled on me on the way down, which is fine. I think that I'll have to put the filming of the Airbnb on hold until Dublin is back into phase 2 and we can freely leave the county again, because it's just really not a nice feeling. I'm beginning to think these local lockdowns are a bad idea because it's actually making Irish people distrust each other. Like, I've never felt so unwelcome anywhere ever as I did in that moment. And I think that that's what Kildare would have had the week before. So Kildare was in a local lockdown the week before, and I bet people would have been like, look, you're from Kildare. And we were talking to the guy in the hotel on Wednesday night, and he was saying that he thought that Galway was going to be next for a local lockdown. And then yesterday, the news came out that there was something like 934 cases in Northern Ireland. They're thinking Donegal might be a local lockdown next. They're thinking maybe they'll close the border to Northern Ireland, which oh my God, imagine. Then again, I'm thinking the county thing doesn't really make sense because it's making all Irish people distrust each other. Maybe the whole fucking country should just go back a phase. But then how much more of this can the country as a whole take? Like, I don't know. Anyway, rant over. It's madness. There was other coronavirus related news yesterday. I can't even remember. It's actually all blurring together at this point. Oh my god, they just said that 6,500 Leaving Cert students got lower grades than they were supposed to due to a calculating error.
Drilling down into the detail of what the Minister and Treasury Department officials announced.
Oh, that's bad. Another funny anecdote that I have is that there was definitely at least one other couple, if not two, that we overheard saying that they were from Kildare, which is not currently in lockdown. And yet, accents sounded very like Dublin accents. Very like born bred Dublin accents. The North news is scary. We were up in Finlock on Tuesday. And the couple next to us have just got engaged. You hear them crying. It's so cute. I'm like, gone. Oh, so cute. Alex not as touched by it.
No, you're pretty touched, alright, I agree.
Alex, that's really cancelled on the floor.
It was out the door, man.
But I thought it was interesting the different regulations in the places. So on Tuesday we were in Finlock in Enniskillen in Northern Ireland, and their rules are that you have to keep your cutlery. So I thought that was really interesting. It was a really different way to do it. Everywhere we've eaten today has actually taken our phone numbers for test and trace. It's pretty good. Dublin's not doing that at all. Probably should be. Alex has just pointed out that I have a massive spot. Oh my god, that is huge.
You should film yourself bursting it and offer it as wellness content on
Absolutely disgusting. I can't get over how big that is. That's getting popped in the car, I think.
No,
yeah.
No, I'm not getting popped in my car. No.
Try stop me.
Well, you can walk now.
The biggest news is that since I came back from this wee trip last night, NPET, the national something recommended that the whole country go back into level 5. Level 5 is like full lockdown. You can't go more than 5 kilometers from your house. You can't see anyone. You can't have anyone over. All restaurants will close again. Ugh!
All week, the number of new cases have been increasing, with officials saying there had been a significant escalation of the virus. The numbers caused concern that tighter restrictions could be on the way. Dublin and Donegal are already at level 3 and the rest of the country at level 2. Tonight, NPHET has recommended to government that the entire country is raised to level 5 restrictions.
That's absolute bullshit.
It's expected the 3 party leaders in government
That's
to
sport
discuss this
fully gone.
recommendation
That's touch rugby and all
before
gone.
RTE News.
Level 5.
Let's hear from our political correspondent Micheál Lehane, who's at government buildings.
This would mean a return to the strictest of measures, where all non-essential businesses would be closed. People would be asked to stay at home and exercise within 5 kilometres from their home. There would be no visits between households, but schools and creches could remain open. Earlier, the Green Party leader Eamon Ryan had said he hoped government could avoid escalating restrictions.
And I wouldn't mind, but like I got some footage from the TV last night. Footage of them being like, let's go to level 5, and then they showed all these videos of GA players jumping all over each other.
On the national news, the national government-sponsored TV station.
Okay, it's not
news,
government sponsored, but okay.
RTE is government
Yeah, but
sponsored.
the government sponsors are a conspiracy theorist way to phrase it.
So this was on the evening news.
Edged out Gael Cullen-Kill by a point. And this Conor Bone goal helped Moycullen to a famous win over Mount Ballymoyloch in Galway. The final whistle triggering jubilant scenes as Moycullen savour their first senior title. There won't be a cow milked by Jim Regan for months down there. Now all of today's county final results available as always on the RTE.
What the fuck?
There won't be a cow milk, Alex. It's always there won't be a cow milk.
Jim Regan.
I presume Jim Regan's the manager of the team. So yeah, we're all turning on each other. Send help. Okay. If you like these videos with an insight into what's happening in Ireland during these crazy times, please subscribe. I'd say the usual, please like the video, please comment, please subscribe, and also give me a follow on Instagram. Something different.